On this week's episode of the Peach Life podcast, I am joined by my wife Martina as we talk about our journey so far into tiny living and how building an art studio turned out to be so much more. Join us each week as we talk to inspiring and creative individuals and learn just how big tiny living can really be. We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Peach Life podcast. Please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more episodes each week. Well, welcome to episode 9 of the Peach Life podcast. I'm here with my beautiful wife, Martina. Thank you for joining me today.
I'm so happy to be here.
I'm super excited. This has, I think, been a long time coming. It seems like every person that that I've had on the podcast has asked, wanting to know a little bit more about us and in our life. So I thought this would be a great way for us to finally get to, sit down and kind of share our story and our journey, through tiny living and we'll get into some awesome questions here and some fun things. So I think first we're going to do some icebreakers.
Awesome.
Okay. Let's see. We have a little
bowl here.
Let's find, I think let's do one each so we can both.
Okay. You go first. Here, let me shake it up.
Okay.
Close your eyes.
Okay. Oh. Let's see. Okay, there we go. And now, is this a question for me or for you? Let's go with you.
Okay.
Okay. What food could you not live without?
Well, I would probably have to say pizza. Super basic. Yeah. Pizza. You could make so many different kinds of pizzas. I can live off of bread and cheese every day for the rest of my life. It probably wouldn't be too good for me, but
no, I think I like it because especially the way the question is phrased, not live without, not your favorite food, but live without, it comes in handy just so many times.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It seems like we run into that all the time.
You could put veggies on it.
True. So it's very customizable. It can
versatile.
You can have a vegetarian pizza.
Yeah.
Or
all kinds of pizzas. All right. So my turn, and this will be for you.
Okay. Let's see.
Favorite book.
Oh my goodness.
He reads so many books.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That makes me feel good. Okay. My favorite book absolutely is Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. He was the lead FBI hostage negotiator. And his book is just an incredible book on tactics dealing with people. And it's amazing too, because it's not just for, business life, but personal life, just any personal relationships. It's a really great tool and resource. I've read it. I can't tell you how many times I've read it. I've probably read it 8 or 9 times already in less than a year.
It's true.
Yeah. I go back to that book all the time because it's just
I still haven't read it. I kind of feel a little bit guilty now knowing that how many times you've read it.
She should. Oh my goodness. Awesome. Well, let me move these out of the way here. Okay. So here we are, week 9. We've been doing this for a couple months now. So we're into this journey that's kind of been a wild ride so far.
Yep.
Yeah. So where I want to start with both of us is, from maybe our early childhood and our early life, what are kind of some of the things that have led us to kind of the idea of tiny living, homesteading, kind of a more natural way of life?
Well, I think for me, I remember being outdoors a lot with my family when we, would go to, places in the desert because we lived in the desert. So we would go to Ocotillo Wells, we would go to Glamis, and those were some of the best days of, my childhood. They're some of the most vivid memories that I have. And I think it's just because, we were able to be outside and, be away from whatever, electronics and, anything like that. And just kind of, be with your family and, meet other families and, make lots of friends. And it was just, just a lot of really good memories. And, as far as, being interested in kind of like the homesteading, kind of life and, just tiny living and, traveling, I think we've always been passionate about this and have been talking about property and, just what we want for our life and, what that kind of looks like and where that kind of falls into for, just years.
Yeah, I think we've been dreaming of like alternative living
Since we've met,
since we've
probably.
met. I remember, yeah, within like the first 6 months or a year, at one point we had, thought that we would buy two old VW like Westphalia vans, the ones that have the kitchens and stuff and that you can live in, and then drive those around. So we've over the years just thought of like,
Yeah.
and so for us to finally, or not finally, but like to kind of have built towards that kind of idea of, traveling life.
I
And
guess the whole idea is just freedom.
yeah,
In everything we're interested in, everything, that we love basically just represents freedom.
yeah,
It's a lifestyle of freedom.
yeah. And for creative people, like that freedom, it takes freedom. I really believe that it takes freedom for creativity.
Yeah,
Yeah, and you see
definitely.
that, throughout history, you see that with times where people haven't had a lot of freedom to move and do things, that you see a lack of art and culture and things like that. So yeah, I think that's one of the things about living and tiny life that we love, is that it opens up.
Now you have a very interesting upbringing, being outdoors.
Yes, I do. I definitely do. Mine not is definitely a lot different than most. So um when I was, well, one, I grew up camping my entire life. All of my earliest memories were, from summers camping with my parents and my family, my aunts and uncles. They would come from out of state. And so all my best memories, even up until the age when I was like 10 or 11, were all from camping in the summers at, different places, playing in the ocean or rivers or lakes, things like that.
Tell them your our favorite place
I
where
don't
you
want
grew up.
I don't want to. That's
You don't want to?
secret, because then
What?
they'll all know. No, no. There's a place called Caribou. It's up on the way to Quincy, up. Ooh, is that high? I believe Highway 20, just past Belden, and it's just a beautiful place. The North Fork of the Feather River goes through there, and it's just about as beautiful as you can get. It's
Yeah.
kind of the heart of, the gold mining country, and we love it. We grew up. So getting into that, that's where my real love of camping and the outdoors starts. When I was all 3 years of junior high, my dad had retired from his job and decided to be a camp host up at some campgrounds.
Yep.
And so for those 3 summers, I basically spent, I think there were like about 4.5 to like 5 months, because it was a little before the summer of school started and a little after, that I basically lived full time in an RV and a tent for, months at a time, and just got that experience of just freedom, and just every day to be out in the wild, exploring, adventuring.
Every kid's dream,
Yeah,
really.
it really was. Yeah.
Most kids.
And then, because and there was always kids coming through all the time to play with. So you always had, new sets of friends every week, every couple weeks, and you would start seeing the same people again every year for years. So for me, I just that was the epitome of what life could be like as I
Yeah.
was growing up, was just time in nature, traveling, getting to see the country. I went on at least a few like cross country trips with our family, driving across country. So I really felt like as a child, or growing up, that I got to see a lot of what there is out there, and it's just kind of inspired me, as we've grown up and become adults, to
Yeah.
want to still live like that, and kind of be able to make that a way of life for us.
Yeah. And I haven't, gone very far. I mean, where we are now is as farthest, the farthest I've ever traveled. I pretty much grew up in the Palm Springs area and lived there for, you know, basically until I moved up here. And so I've always just had that like longing for, travel and adventure and freedom, because I don't necessarily feel like I got to, experience much of that. So
Yeah, and I think that's really kind of brought us to, where we've kind of are now. And we are, it's always interesting because we live in a tiny home. People are always asking, like, if we're like on the road full time, and it's like we're not on the road full time yet, which at some point will be. But
I don't think we would do it with what we have now.
I think by the time, I do think we kind of are in agreement that probably by the time we travel full time, that we'll
Couple
be
years.
that we'll
Yeah.
be into a different rig by then. But for some of the things that we found is, because we've been living tiny now for, I think, I know it's over 3 years.
And for those of you that don't know, we renovated a 30-foot travel trailer. So when he says tiny home, that's what
I mean.
we're talking about.
Yes.
And it's a lot nicer than it sounds. It always seems weird when we're like, oh yeah, we live in a trailer, and it sounds kind of like dingy, and it's so not. It's really nice. So
yeah,
we're really proud of it.
we definitely are very proud of it. And I think that that's one of the things we wanted to go into, was just kind of that, how that experience has been for us with tiny living. What are some of the things and choices we maybe have made with our trailer that have been helpful, or kind of been maybe luxuries that we kind of went for, that we've been happy with. So yeah, what are some of the things about the trailer?
California King.
Yes, that is the first and foremost. Like, that was the number one thing, is that we customized the bedroom, and I had to make it a whole new bed frame and kind of figure out a way to make it fit and work.
It was just like a basic, like, what size was it before? Like a
bit like
a
they're like a
it was small.
they're almost like not even a queen. It's almost like they're like a full and a half. They're sometimes they're kind of weird. They kind of cut they cut the corners off on you.
Yeah, so that was not going to work.
Yeah. So we opted and went for a California King. Now the choice was, it really did take up the entire bedroom.
It's just bed. It's room and bed.
And there is a walkway, or not, I shouldn't say a walkway, a standing area to one side of the bed where the drawer and the closet is.
And the door.
But you couldn't but you can't walk around the bed like you could before. But like I've said to even people too, you never are even able to walk around those things.
Yeah.
Like you literally are like, I've literally like you have to like shuffle your way around, because they're not like really, actually standing room.
It's kind of nice to just kind of hop on the bed too. It's just like there, and you just jump on it. Like,
yeah. And anybody that lives in a van or like van life, they have to do that anyway. So it's really common to not necessarily have that, full walk-in room. And I think that has been a massive benefit for us, having that extra area to sleep and to to get that kind of extra space just off to the side. That has just been.
We also have a really, pretty decent TV in the bedroom, which we enjoy. Yes, and another thing that I can think of that has really improved it was just the paint. It sounds really simple, but I'm telling you, like, lighter colors just make spaces feel so much more airy, and just it makes it feel like you have more space. So we just went with white, and I've been super happy with it.
Oh yeah.
It totally, just transforms the whole space, and it's, it's what a lot of people do, honestly. Like when I was looking around, I'm just like, I see a lot of people doing it, and I see why, because it turns into a totally different space.
Yeah, it has such a, I mean, when I didn't realize how much of a difference it makes until I look at the the before and after photos.
Yeah.
That's when it really hits you. You're like, oh my goodness, like how much extra space it feels like you get.
Yeah.
Just from painting it white. Yeah, that one little feature right there alone.
That was a lot of work though.
It was.
I would hate to do it again.
Yeah, I don't think
alone.
I don't think we realized how much work painting every nook and cranny inside of a trailer can be, because it's not in any.
Multiple coats too.
Yeah,
So
it's in no way like painting a house. And that's already annoying as it is. So yeah, so to paint anything inside of an RV is, I think for me, I mean, well, obviously for me, it's the music studio that I built, and we'll show pictures here that, and I feel blessed and gracious enough that she gave me that area to use as my desk and really kind of take up the entire back area, of the entire trailer, and I just love it.
It looks great. And I mean, and we use it too, just as a regular desk.
Yeah, we use it for really everything, but just having that there, and especially for the idea in the future as we're traveling, or if we are in this one, or that will definitely be a must for any next rig we have, is to be able to have that, because whenever we're traveling, I want to be able to look out that back window at whatever lake, river, stream, and be able to enjoy that. Like if you're going to have to work on the road, you better make it where you can park it in front of a window that you can have something nice.
You might as well have a view.
Yeah, exactly. I love that. So yeah, that music kind of whole desk, and I found it from another YouTube. Oh no.
A visitor, a special guest.
I found a YouTube channel that had created this. It's all from IKEA. It's just a bunch of different IKEA parts that you can buy and put together. I will put the description in the link below for that video, because yeah, I really love that, and it really helped me out a lot in kind of creating a really cool music studio area.
Yeah, and we plan on doing a video soon, of basically a tour of like what we've done and before and after pictures. So that'll I'm sure be coming eventually.
Yeah,
down the line. We have we've got a lot of projects we're working on, and so
a lot of stuff in the
fire. A lot of stuff, so things are getting exciting, and we're just doing what we can, and we hope to get that to you guys soon.
Yes. Let's see some other things. The trash. I've talked to a lot of people about the trash, and it's something that still for us has been a
our
nuisance.
Trash is just sitting out. Obviously it has like a lid and a little step thing, but it does take up space. Now where we have it doesn't. It's kind of in a space that's not really used, so it's not too much of a nuisance.
Yeah, for us, but for a lot of, if we didn't have that one spot there, that it wasn't anywhere else in our entire place, it would be a giant nuisance, or we'd have to be. Yeah, and a lot of the people, like, they don't think about that. Even when they're building out everything, they're customizing exactly where everything they go. No one's like, where's the trash can go? And it, so that's one of those things that I think we someday could figure out better.
Yeah. We would probably have to empty out, or underneath our counter space, and I could probably figure out some kind of pull out.
Oh, you just gave me a good idea. Okay.
But we would have to, it's all when you live in a tiny space, it's all about, shifting things to like where everything needs a space. And when you take something out of a space, you need to find a new space. And sometimes that can be a challenge. So I know what I would want to change with, the trailer, or, what I would like to do next. But I'm curious, what would you do to, change, or, what would you do differently?
Yeah, I think one project I'm really excited about then is going to be, it's a custom bed for our daughter that also has kind of a dog kennel underneath it, as well as some drawers on both sides. So it'll give us a lot of extra storage, and also kind of get our dog bed out of the way. So it's kind of going to be a cool little project. And Also, our bathroom sink and counter. I would like to put a new sink and counter in the bathroom,
Yeah.
as well as sink and counter in the kitchen. I think those are the two final big kind of technical uh, remodels that I'd like to do before we're kind of completely done with the trailer. Now, what about you?
I think for me, I'm really excited to eventually put a deck on top.
Yeah, that
Because we see it all the time, with these people with their buses, and I'm just like, man, like, it's we could do that too, like, why not? And so I think hopefully we'll see if that can be a project, maybe over the summer, but also because I am an artist, I would like to paint the outside of it. I've been getting into mural painting, and that's kind of the direction that I want to head in. So it will kind of be like just a little bit of practice for me. And so that's really exciting. I would like to do that over the summer too. So, and we'll be filming, as much as we can with any more improvements. And, we're trying to get better at getting more, just of our life and what we're doing, and just so we can share that.
Yeah, I'm really excited for what just to see what you do with a big canvas that big. That's
Yeah,
going to be
me too.
incredible to see. I mean, uh yeah, so hopefully we're able to get that one done as soon as we can. The deck too, I was skeptical at first, just because I hadn't seen people really do it much on travel trailers like they do with schoolies. But like the more you've said it, the more I think that it's something that we
Yeah.
can do it pretty easy.
It seems to be a must with all the schoolies. So, and I just by looking at them, I agree. I'm with you. So,
Yeah, yeah, me too. And I think for ours, we still have a good area that we can put solar panels on
mhm.
and still have the deck. So I think that would have been just say like if we couldn't have solar panels, we probably would have to probably not do that. But I'm glad we can
Yeah.
do both for ours.
Yeah. Homes with a view is just it just seems like the answer.
Yeah, it really does. Does. So okay, I think next we're gonna get into the build, the studio, what we're
Yeah.
in now. Um, this has kind of been the big project of 2020
Yep.
for us.
Mainly for you. I kind of came in at the end a little bit, but for those of you that don't know, I did break my arm last year because I quickly got into roller skating because it's what all the cool kids were doing.
And she quickly got out of roller skating.
And what?
I said, and you quickly got
And
out
I
of roller
quickly got
skating.
out of it. Yeah, I thought I was invincible. I'm like, oh, I'm going to practice falling and I'm just going to, like, I thought I was so cool. And then I go to the skate park for like the first time ever. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to go fast. And literally, we weren't even there 5 minutes. I think you were still putting like Leah's roller skates on. And I just go, like it was terrible. But yeah, so I broke my arm. And what was it, about a couple weeks after that, we decided to,
To
start the
start, yeah, to
studio.
start
So
building
I
this.
was useless for a really long time, other than, giving my opinion here and there. But yeah, tell them about your creation.
Well, let's start with why. Why did we create this beautiful place in the first place?
Well, I guess that would, be because we just generally needed more space. I had gotten a scholarship, to an art school, an online art school. And, with the scholarship, you have to get lots of materials and have, big things like canvases and giant sketch pads. And it all kind of started building up. And I was, anytime I had a project to do, I would like start it inside the trailer. And then, I'd have to like go in the garage. And then my stuff was just all over the place. I'm like, I really just need one space where I can find everything I need. So I'm not running back and forth, wasting, a good chunk of my day just trying to find what I'm looking for to be able to do what I need to do. So, the studio seemed like the solution for that. And also for, like concentration purposes, when you're in a tiny space and, there's just always something going on.
Yeah.
Like, so it's definitely hard to like get in the zone or whatever you want to call it. So having a good space to myself where I can do that and really just kind of stretch my legs, was, crucial, a crucial next step in our journey.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it really was. And about a few months before, I think we had started with the idea of maybe looking around and seeing if we could find some kind of art space to
Hmm.
rent or something like that, some kind of storefront. And I think,
And they have some, in her area, and, definitely good price. But it just kind of made sense to us, I think. Instead of paying rent somewhere else, we can just put money into something we can keep and have right outside our home. And it was, at first it didn't seem possible to
well,
me that we could have it here.
we thought we were going to build it somewhere else first, and then when we did decide to build it here, that was like the best choice. Like we made the
Yeah.
right choice.
Well, because we already had a foundation. There's already
Yeah.
a cement slab here that would be perfect for it. And, it didn't seem like we had the space or the room for it because, we pretty much live on a giant slab.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the travel trailer, and then now it's the studio, and then we have like an
Shed
outdoor
behind that.
shed. And so the shed and the travel trailers still seem, like they didn't leave us with much room. But when you kind of scoot things and make a little extra
Yeah.
room, it was possible.
Yep. So that ended up being, I think, the perfect choice for us, especially for me, during um a time of being off work for a while. It
Hmm.
was a great project, I think, for my personality. I always need something to do.
Yeah.
I need to stay active, and I need to have some kind of project or something going on. So um her kind of giving me the reins and letting me kind
Yeah.
of go and build something like this was amazing. I mean, I'd never built anything before, and
Yeah.
so for us to do that was, you know
It was pretty yeah, it was a big deal.
yeah, I think we're pretty proud of it.
Definitely. It's beautiful. And yeah, again, we will do another video of, the tour of the studio. I know I said I would do that, and it's been a while, but all in good time.
Yes, yes, there's a lot going on. There's a lot coming up, and a
Yeah.
lot of new things. So luckily we do have a lot of that content and footage, and we will put it out
Yeah.
at some point in the near future.
Yeah, it'll
And
be awesome. I
yeah,
can't wait for you guys to see it.
yeah, we're really excited for that. You'll get to see a little sneak kind of preview in the preview of this episode. So
Oh,
that'll
okay.
be, yeah, so that'll be
Little
kind of a
teaser.
little teaser for it. So yeah, we're definitely excited about some of that coming out. So after being in the studio now for a few months, what are some of your favorite parts about it, and what are some of the things that have been the most inspiring to you?
Yes. So I think I just love all the windows. I'm so happy, we put so many windows in here. And, I think I'm always going to feel that way about any kind of tiny home structure.
Yeah.
It's just there can never be too many windows. I like natural light. And I really think, during the day, it just feels so good in here. And, for painting inside of here, that light is very helpful.
Yeah,
And
and if you can't see, and you can't, there's 9 windows in a 10 by 12 tiny home. So
six,
that's a lot of
seven,
windows.
eight. Wow. Yeah. And two French
And then 2
doors,
French doors. So
which
yeah, with
brings in a lot of light.
so that
And so yeah, we love, and I'm sure we have said this before, but we love Habitat for Humanity. Like,
yes.
we got all our windows from there. Is it mainly windows? I know we got some
We got
lighting
the
and the
doors, and
doors, the French doors,
uh
and it saved so much money.
so much money.
unbelievable. Like yeah. So, we are big fans and we go there sometimes just for fun. And we're just like, yeah, like we'll get that and we'll get this. And, we window shop at Habitat for Humanity. We're those people.
Yes, we definitely are those people.
And so I would say, any like least favorite parts?
Interesting.
Well, I always feel like there could be more storage.
Yeah.
That's my thing. I could still see a few different areas where we can incorporate more storage. And for me, have, again, being an artist, you have so many supplies, and especially when it comes to color, it's like, if you like markers, it's like you need the whole rainbow. If you like paints, you need the whole rainbow.
Yeah.
If you any kind of material, it's like you pick one thing that you like to use and you need the whole set. So it's like it can build up pretty quickly.
Yeah, very quickly.
Yeah. I don't know. What about you? What are some of your favorite things about the studio? I'm sure I could answer that right now, but.
Well, I mean, first and foremost, I got to say, like, not realizing at the time how good and how well it would work for the podcast is obviously.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah. Obviously, first, and I didn't. We had no idea at that point that that I think we were gonna do that or start it in here anyway. So that was a major bonus for me.
Yeah, and it's kind of turned into your space more, I think, because I did decide to go a different, route.
With more murals, so it's more like larger stuff.
Exactly. So I don't really need to be working here, and I kind of have fell in love with spray paint, and I love working with spray paint. So, and we just can't do that in here. Like it's such a tiny space. The few times that I have done it, you can see like little speckles everywhere. And so you could just see how everything in here would just be ruined, almost instantly. And then the fumes are toxic and it would be a nightmare. So, we kind of had discovered that I got to be working outside. Like there's no other option. And I'm okay with that. Like, I love that. He had previously built a pergola.
Yeah.
And we kind of put some, what are they called? Those boards?
Oh,
just regular
like particle boards,
and kind of closed it off. And, those are now my walls that I get to practice on. And I love it. I love that space. And, I guess I feel like you should be grateful because I'm so simple. And it's funny that a lot of the times that I think like, like I want something, I was so excited about the studio and I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be my space. Like, it really was for me. And it's funny how I'm just like, now I'm just happy with like a little, dingy wood area outside. I'm like, like,
but honestly though, and we'll show it here, like, for somebody like we were able to create something really cheap and cool that most people don't really have to practice spray paint. So I think that was such a cool little area that we created out there as well. Yeah. And in here, I mean, I think even though it opened up for the podcast, it's all the other things that we didn't know that it would open up, that I think, and we'll show some pictures of just kind of some of the different things. But I mean, everything from working out to yoga to
we have what are they called?
A yoga trapeze.
A yoga trapeze. I still haven't been able to use it like I've wanted to because I'm still building up my arm strength. But he has had a ball with that thing.
That thing is really awesome. So we were able to hang it in the middle of the room, and there's enough open room in the middle of this to use that. And it's just, I mean,
it's like an office. It's it's basically like an everything room. Like, we do so much in here. It kind of reminds me of, Step Brothers, if any of you have seen that, where they're just in their room. They're like so many activities. Like that's how we feel like.
Seriously. Yeah. We spend so much time in here. Like we could when I look at this place, and I'm like so thankful. I still
Yeah.
can't believe, and I'm sure if you listen to the podcast, you're so annoyed of me saying this already, but like I cannot believe that I did this and finished this. So when
Yeah.
we sit in this every day, I just like know anybody could do anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if I could build this by myself in just a couple months, and I think there's hope out there.
There is a lot of hope out there. Yeah. And I mean, there, how should I say this? Anyone who builds anything or who has built anything, it's not always easy, and there's challenges. And, if you do have a partner, there can be disagreements sometimes
Oh
about
yeah.
how things are done or how they should be done. And, so, yeah, don't build anything if, you're not, you don't have a strong relationship. No, I'm just kidding.
No, for sure.
But it will test you,
They will test you for sure.
and anyone who says any differently is probably lying. So,
and I'm sure the years of tiny living before this has helped us learn, to deal with those. Because any couple out there that
lives in a small space, like you really got to like each other.
Yeah. So yeah, one of the last things we wanted to get into is kind of where we're going in the future, where we hope to see ourselves in the next year or two for sure, and just kind of give some context about what our hopes and dreams are for our tiny living and our the studio here.
Kind of the lifestyle we just see for ourselves, and that we're constantly reaching for and working towards, and just dreaming about. So we are tiny dwelling enthusiasts, and we would love to get ourselves on some property. And, what I guess what that would look like for us would be, moving the travel trailer and moving the studio, and, going solar, kind of, beginning, our kind of like homesteading journey. Like we're really interested in homesteading, and I can't wait to get some people on. I feel like I keep bugging you. I'm like, get some. I'm like, come on. I'm like, I want to know some stuff. Like,
so if you are a homesteader that is watching this, contact me. Let us know if you would be up. Yes, we would love to have you on. Because it's
especially if you have kids too, that's awesome. Because we have our daughter, she's 7. And I think it would be cool to kind of, even know what it's like for the kids. Like, how did the kids like it? What did they get to do? Like, what are they learning, with you? Like, how is that, affecting their life?
Yeah.
Like all that stuff I'm interested in.
Yeah. I think that's going to be, really fun. And so what is your most, what animal are you most excited to get up on on the homestead?
I think we really love llamas and alpacas. They are so cute. So from what I've looked up and heard, alpacas seem to be kind of like the sweethearts, and llamas can kind of be jerks. But I love that kind of like difference in like personality, like but also
they tell you to get a llama to protect the
llamas actually like protect the herd. So people who have alpacas, they'll have a llama, and the llama will kind of just it's like a little sheriff.
Oh my goodness.
So llamas and alpacas, but also I want some chickens, and not just any chicken. I want these chickens. They're called silkies. And I'm telling you, please look it up. If you've never heard of it, please look them up. They are the most ridiculous looking chickens ever. So poofy, like you can't even see their faces. And they're supposed to be very, they have like personalities, and, they come when you call them, and, they give you good eggs, and it's like, what more can you ask for?
Right.
They're amazing. Please look them up. I'll probably just find a Google photo and put it up here just so you can see it.
Yes. Yeah, we got to do that.
I'm very passionate about them.
Yeah.
What
else?
about you? What about,
Ooh,
I know I'll speak for Leah.
okay.
She is very into horses. So we definitely, I'm hoping, by the time she is 12, that we can, have her, up and riding. And, we do homeschool her. And so we are able to do like horseback riding classes and, all sorts of extracurricular activities. So we're going to get her in that as soon as we can once, we get back into red tier over here.
Yes.
But what about you? What are your animals?
Yeah, that's a good question. I do think it's the alpacas for me.
Yeah.
As far as
A brown cow. I'm going to throw a brown cow
pets.
in there.
Interesting. I haven't thought of a cow yet. Okay.
Yeah, brown cow.
Yeah. But I think deer is my favorite animal that we'll have up on the property.
Yeah, wild deer.
What, of course, what, yeah. But that's what I'm looking forward to the most is just seeing packs of deers just roaming through.
Honestly, I want to look into reindeer. I think that would be so awesome.
You want to have a reindeer
farm? I want to have a reindeer on our farm. Yes, definitely.
I think that would be fun.
Yes. Also a butterfly garden. I'm going to throw that in there. Throw that into the universe.
Butterfly garden. I like
An
that.
exotic butterfly garden.
I like that.
We need a butterfly dealer. I want to buy some butterflies.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry. Okay. Give me one more animal.
One more animal. Okay. Yeah, we said
just think of one you want to eat and it'll pop up.
One I want to eat.
I'm just kidding. No.
I want to have like a bison on the property.
Hey.
We can do that maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure.
You're not an animal guy, I guess.
No, like the chickens for sure, but it's like I think we're all excited for the main ones the most. Yeah, so but I mean, I guess it's great having kind of a vision and something that we're shooting for and going for in the near future. So, we will keep you guys updated on any and all
future Peach Life endeavors.
Yes. Yes. So is there anything else that
we can talk about?
Yeah,
I think we're kind of at the end of our rope here for today.
Yeah, for today, but we got more coming at you soon.
Yeah.
Okay. So
sorry, I'm getting a little nerdy now.
The longer you go, the more I notice it too. Even like last night.
We're so done.
We're good.
Thank you for joining us today on the Peach Life podcast.
Thank you so much, and tune in next week. So yeah, next week on the podcast, we're going to have Will and Kristen from Number One Bus.
Whoop, whoop.
We're super excited about that. So everyone make sure they tune in and check that episode out next week. We are super excited about that.
Yep.
And thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good one. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Peach Life podcast. Next week, we are joined by Will and Kristen from Number One Bus. Come along as we talk about how mobile life can be even more convenient for many types of professions, and my personal favorite, how do you put a skate park on a bus?